I think it's the album where the sound coalesced perfectly. It's not like previous albums still had a reggae song, a blues song, and the different genres still sounded a bit different. Of course, by Hemi Vision, it gets married together pretty good. You know, like we start having a pretty dialed recipe. But once we got to Heated, that's when, you know, we had enough success where I wielded absolute control in the studio. There was no discussion about anything. It will be like this. You will put the tablecloth from the banquet hall on the drums. They will be tuned really dead. We're bringing in a reggae drummer to play on this thing. And even the band, even the guys in the band, some of them, but the engineers, the record label people, the management were going, yeah, but Hemi Vision sounds like Led Zeppelin. It's like that big, you know, big cranky snare drum and what everything is so like dry and tight and why are you doing that? I mean, I guess you're going to change it when you mix later. Like, no, I'm not. I'm mixing it now. This is how this is going down. I had the vision before I got to the studio, before we started. And that was not popular with anybody we worked with. Like even my engineers in the studio were going, I don't know. I guess it's cool if you say so. I mean, if that's what you want, you're doing it. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Because the lengths we went to make that record sound that way were quite unbelievable. But I wanted to have a record. I would be proud of the sound forever. I had no care in the world for what was current or popular. I had no idea what was played on the radio at that point in history. I just didn't listen to it. So we made Heated, and we got a lot of heat from it's called Heated for a reason, because we'd been so successful with Hemi Vision. Everyone suddenly had an opinion, and I wasn't having it. And so they said, okay, well, we don't hear any songs. We don't hear any songs. You need to write with accredited songwriters. I'm like going, I write with my people or myself, and I'm not interested in writing with Jim Valence. Very nice, Jim Valence, great songwriter. Bryan Adams, cool. I mean, yeah, they're great. That's not what I listen to. That's not where I'm coming from. I'll work with Sly and Robbie if you want me to, but I'm not interested in this. Like, yeah, I know. So they yanked the budget. They pulled the band out of the studio unceremoniously. Like, we went to the studio one day, it was locked, and that was it. Like, we're locked out. What? How ignorant. So I went AWOL for a minute, went out to the farm in Alberta, didn't pick up the phone for a couple of weeks. And once we got talking again, they said, okay, well, you can go and just like, we need to hear demos. So they sent us to this little demo studio in a basement on Spadina in the warehouse district. And it was just, you know, very modest kind of gear. It was really just like for hip hop guys. Like there was a sampler and a small little 12-channel board, and a very, very modest recording setup. So we were relegated to that. And just out of spite, I was like, okay, yeah, you gonna do this to me? Well, watch what I'll do to you. So if we didn't care before, we really didn't care then. So I think maybe the first day I was stuck sitting in there going, so they want another dig in a hole. You know what? Fuck digging a hole. I like Toots and the Maytals. What would Toots and the Maytals do? We recorded, turned the lights on. It was written and recorded in a couple of hours.